Hello everyone, and we would like to welcome you back to another presentation of the Cruiser Chris World Network. I am Cruiser Chris, and today we are going to do a video about a very important and special topic. That topic is Father's Day. I have prepared some remarks, and I will read them for you now. Hello, everyone, and we would like to welcome you back to the Cruiser Chris World Network. We are going to be talking about a very special topic today. It is the topic of Father's Day. Father's Day is a worldwide holiday celebrated in several countries around the world. We in the United States generally celebrate Father's Day on the third Sunday in June every year. But did you know that the country of Australia doesn't celebrate Father's Day until the 5th of September, which is one day before we celebrate Labor Day in the United States this year? We celebrate Father's Day with many countries, although not every country celebrates Father's Day on the same day. We celebrate Father's Day with countries such as Canada, Russia, and the United Kingdom. If you go to Romania, you have already celebrated Father's Day this year, because in Romania, they celebrate Father's Day they celebrated Father's Day on the 9th of May this year. And they will be planning to celebrate Father's Day on May 8th of next year. Father's Day is defined by Google as a day that is set aside every year to honor those who are fathers in the lives of children or who act as father figures in our lives. So I would encourage you to take a moment tomorrow and say thank you to those who you consider to be father figures in your life, and let them know how important they are to you and how they made you into the person you are today, and how thankful you are that they were able to do that for you. Father's Day was unofficially recognized starting in 1910 at a YMCA located in Spokane, Washington. However, it did not become an officially recognized holiday until 1966, when President Lyndon Baines Johnson made it an official holiday by issuing a proclamation every year. It did not get officially passed into law to be recognized as a holiday without proclamation until Richard Nixon signed it into law in 1972. So what happened was, between 1966 and 1972, they had a yearly proclamation that was issued by Lyndon Baines Johnson, and he would designate a certain day every year. It was typically every Sunday in June. But he would designate a certain day in June every year to be set aside to celebrate Father's Day. My Father's Day is special to me because it gives me an opportunity to give thanks and recognize those who have been father figures to me in my life, such as my uncle, my grandpa, and my late father. So even though you have you might have, like me, a father who has passed on to the other side, or you have a grandfather who lives a long distance away, I would encourage you to say a prayer and give your grandfather up a call on the phone, which is exactly what I plan to do tomorrow. I would like to now share with you a little bit of how my father was important to me in my life. When I was 17 years old, I obtained the rank of Eagle Scout, and in order to do that, you have to be in the scouting Boy Scouts of America to do that. But I started when I was 5 years old in Tiger Cubs. So what I would like to do is tell you a little bit of the story about what I did for my Eagle Project and how my dad was instrumental in helping me to get that task completed. So I needed to complete a service project for my Eagle Scout rank. And so what I had to do was I had to go to my local county around where I live, and I had to talk to some people to give me suggestions or ideas for an Eagle project. And there are certain stipulations that can qualify a project to be an Eagle project. For example, it has to be something that is going to either benefit some organization, educationally. I don't remember quite all the requirements because it's been such a long time since I did my Eagle project. But it can't be like, oh, I'm going to go trim the neighbor's weeds and then that's going to be my Eagle project. Or I'm going to build a deck for the caretaker on the back of, his house. And that's my Eagle project. It has to be something of significance that is really going to make a difference in your community. For example, you might see, if you have trails in your specific area in which you live, you might see park benches that are drilled into concrete slabs. That is an example of an Eagle project. You might see brush and trees be trimmed down on the trail. so that people can see more of nature's beauty. That is an example of an Eagle project. So to get back to my story and how I did my Eagle project, I decided to design and build a raptor enclosure for a disabled red-tailed hawk. And this disabled red-tailed hawk had been hit by a car on the side of the road up here somewhere in the Midwest, and she was not able to fly again. So what they did was they said, we need to build a raptor enclosure for a local nature center in my area, so that this disabled red-tailed hawk, who was named Kira, could be used for educational purposes. So my dad and I sat down and we had a meeting with the caretaker of the nature center, and he went over the specifics. When I say he, I mean the caretaker for the nature center. He went over the specifics of what the requirements were going to be in order for me to build this enclosure properly. He went over what kind of materials we would have to purchase and stuff like that. And then once we were given our requirements, or in this case, I'm going to call it our mission, by the person at the nature center, my dad and I then went home and we sat down and we began to put together an item by item cost list. And I apologize, my nose was itching. Item by item cost list of how much each individual item was going to cost. And then we had to put together a crew schedule. We also had to put together a crew design for what we wanted the enclosure to look like. So my dad knew a friend that knew how to work with CAD, and he helped us put together a blueprint for this Eagle project. And it took about maybe 3 months from the time from when we first came up with the concept to the time when it was completely built. But I am forever thankful that I had my father there by my side, because my father, in his day job when he was with us, was a project manager at a local aerospace company. So he knew how to guide it. He knew how to kind of guide me in the way and how to lead a crew of workers from basically building it from the ground up. And it took us about, like I said, 3 or 4 months from the time that we got the idea or the requirements for what this local nature center needed to the time when we had it completed. So it was a very fast thing that we had to do, but it was still very rewarding that I, being a disabled Eagle Scout, or a disabled Boy Scout at the time, that was before I got my Eagle Scout, which, by the way, I believe I got it on like maybe the 4th of August of 2007. I'd have to check the date, I'm not exactly sure. But without my father by my side, I very likely would not have became an Eagle Scout. And everybody after I obtained my Eagle Scout project, or Eagle Scout rank, said that it was kind of ironic that a disabled Boy Scout, that being me, was helping out a disabled red-tailed hawk, which was that Kira that I was talking about. So, I'm going to wrap up my thoughts because I've been talking a long time already. So, fathers hold a special place in the lives of their children. So, I would encourage all the children to take a moment on whatever day or date Father's Day falls on in your country, to take a moment and show appreciation to the fathers and the father figures that exist in your life, and let them know how thankful you are that they were and are a part of your life, and how thankful that they were there for you, and how based on how they influenced you, it made you into the person you are today. So I would just like to take a moment and say thank you to all of the fathers who have influenced me in my life, including my father on the other side, and my grandfather, who was his father on the other side as well. I would like to take a moment to thank my grandfather and my uncle for continuing to be an influence to me in my life now that my father has gone. By the way, even though fathers, might not be with us here in body, they are with us here in spirit. So, fathers are never gone. They might not be here with us in body, but they're always here with us in spirit. So if you have a father that has passed to the other side, all you need to do is talk to Jesus and the powers that be upstairs, and just relay a message, or have him relay a message, or have Jesus call upon your father and have your father come visit you. So things you can do as a father is you need to be an obvious example and a role model for your kids, because we are having a problem in this country where we don't have a lot of fathers that are role models. So I would encourage fathers out there to do some research and see what they can do to be more involved in their kids' life, because there's gonna come a day, fathers, where, you know, the kids are all gonna be grown up and they won't come to see you as often as they did when they lived under your roof. So when you do have kids that are young, that is the time to not only be there for them, to be a role model and a positive influence for them, but that is the time to make memories, because you're not a kid, but for a little while in life. And I really do encourage fathers with kids that maybe like the outdoors is to find things that you and your kids have in common. Like, for example, my things that I had in common with my dad was we like to go fishing. Now, I'm in a wheelchair, but like I've said before in my previous videos, I don't let that stand in my way. I find a way to get done what I want to get done when I want to get it done. And I don't let obstacles stand between me and what I want to do. So, that would be, like, for example, my one of my hobbies when I was younger was going fishing. And my dad had a speedboat, so it wasn't always the easiest thing to get me down into the boat to go fishing. But if I had it to do all over again, I'd probably go and do more fishing with my dad, because that was something that I really enjoyed. And kids, I'm gonna say this to you too, kids. When your father asks you to go fishing, I didn't really go fishing. I mean, I went fishing with my dad a lot, don't get me wrong, but I didn't go fishing with my dad as often as I probably should have. So when your dad, and I'm speaking to the kids in this portion of the video, when your dad invites you or asks you to come along and go fishing with him in a boat, you might like baseball games on the TV very much like I did, but you have to think about the fact that by your dad asking you to go fishing with him, it's him wanting to spend time with you and he wants to try to be that positive influence in your life. So to conclude my thoughts, because I know I've been talking a while, kids, don't be afraid to go and do things with Dad while they're still alive, because there's gonna come a day when you either grow up and are not around Dad as much as you were when you were a kid, or there's gonna come a day when your dad gets sick and he has something medically happen to him that causes him to pass on. So we have to take the time to be a part of our fathers' lives. And fathers, we have to do this for our kids too. We have to take the time to be a part of our kids' lives, especially if we want them to be a part of our lives. Because number one, when we're a part of our kids' lives, we can influence them to turn them into upstanding, respectable, kind, caring, and compassionate citizens. And then kids, when we're a part of our Father's lives, and we take a moment or we take some time to spend time with them, it allows us to have them pass on stories or do something like fishing that they enjoy doing with you. It might not always be easy to do things with them because, like me, there might be some people out there that have disabilities that make it a little bit hard. But while you're given the opportunity to interact and spend time with your fathers, I would encourage you to do that. So, in closing, I hope that this video gave you something to think about and maybe would compel you to spend a little more time with your kids on the father's side so that we can shape our next generation of children into good people. And then from the side of the children, spend time with Dad, spend time with Grandpa, spend time with uncles, because being a kid only happens for such a short period of time, and then when you grow up, you become busier, therefore you don't really have a lot of time to spend with your dads. And then there may come a day, like I said earlier, where something very, very life-changing happens with your dad. And he might not be around for much longer past that life-changing event. So it's important to take the time when you're young to spend time with your dad and your uncles and your grandpas, because they're not going to be around forever. So we have to take a moment and spend time with them so that we can make memories, so that when they're gone, we have memories and times in our lives of happy memories, so that we can preserve those memories and they can live on with you forever. So I'm sorry for the long-windedness of this video, but it's a very important video. So I wanted to take some time and really spend some time with you and let you know how important I think fathers are. So if you like what you see from us here at the Cruiser Chris World Network, we would invite you to like, subscribe, and share, and leave an organic comment about a specific video or series of videos that you watch, because that will help your subscription stick. Also, remember to hit that notification bell and select all notifications so that when we drop new videos on the Cruiser Chris World Network, as the kids say today, You can be alerted when we have a new video out, and you can be one of the first to see it. Thank you for once again taking the time out to watch this very important video. We hope that all of the fathers and the grandfathers and the uncles have a good Father's Day tomorrow, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Have a good night. Stay safe, happy, and healthy out there. This has been a presentation of the Cruiser Chris World Network. Thanks for watching.